Today, we want to talk a little bit about whether or not stock dividends are a good source of retirement income. In other words, is this a smart idea to build up a portfolio of, large company stocks that pay dividends for a source of retirement income and something that we can rely on? Here's how this works. The thinking behind using dividends on stocks is as follows. The idea is you go out, step one, buy blue chip stocks that pay dividends, right? That is step one. Just start accumulating big company stocks that pay dividends, like ExxonMobil would be an example of that. It's a big company, not going anywhere, and it pays dividends. And specifically, what you're looking for, step two, to refine this a little bit, you are looking for companies that have a long track record of two things. One, paying dividends, obviously, and two, increasing those dividends over time. So we want big companies that have a long track record of paying dividends every quarter, where that track record is showing that they're also increasing those dividends every quarter. And you can look up a lot of these. If you were to Google the dividend aristocrats, or the dividend kings, either one. If you were to Google those, you would find a list of companies that, they're big companies, they pay dividends over a long period of time, and they have a good track record of not just paying dividends, but also increasing those dividends over time. So here's the thinking behind this, right? The thinking behind this is if you build up, a bunch of stocks when you retire, so here you go, here is your portfolio, and the idea is that this portfolio should deliver enough dividend income that when you take that and you add it to Social Security, your dividend income plus maybe Social Security plus, rent or pension or anything else you might have, rental income, that everything basically, this is replacing your paycheck, right? So you can retire and say, hey, I can retire between Social Security, my dividend income, maybe rental income, pension. It's like replacing my paycheck. I'm good. And one of the things that people really like about this is that, remember, they're finding these companies with a long track record of increasing dividends. So Social Security, remember, that goes up over time with inflation. If your dividend income goes up with inflation, or at least increases over time, guess what? We also have inflation protected income, right? So the pot of money, right? Our investments should grow over time. Our income should grow over time. This should work out great. That's the idea. And by the way, in most market environments, this works pretty well. We know that the stocks here, what are they going to do over time? They're going to kind of go up and down over time, but hopefully they'll go up over long periods of time. But hopefully, as long as the dividends are coming in, you're going to be good. All right? So that is the argument for dividend investing for retirement income. And like I said, normally it works well, but sometimes it doesn't, because here's the whole problem with this approach. This approach is built on a 4-letter word called hope. We hope that the markets do not experience a black swan event like it did, Great Depression or, October of 87, or the dot-com crash in 2000, or, the financial meltdown of 2008. We hope that doesn't happen, because if it does, suddenly this stock portfolio could go down in a big way and we could find ourselves in trouble. We hope that black swan event does not occur, because our dividends, instead of going up, could go down in a big way. And in fact, that happens in the real world on a, unfortunately, regular basis. It's like, wow, I put all my money in these companies. They've been growing their dividends for 30 years. How could anything go wrong? Big black swan event happens like 2008, for example, and these companies have been growing their dividends for 30 years. Suddenly, boom, they crash and burn, their stock price goes down like crazy, their dividends go down like crazy, and next thing you know, your retirement is not what you thought it would be. So I want to share what I think is maybe a better way. If you are in a position where you have enough in stock where the dividends here are large enough to generate the income you want, then I think you might want to consider this better way. So let's do a little bit of math here. What are these big blue chip stock dividend portfolios paying for income these days? Well, they're paying about 3%. Let's imagine, I'm going to do this to keep our numbers, nice and clean. Let's imagine that you are getting $60,000 of annual dividends, right? Let's imagine that. And if you do the math, like, hey, if I take my 60 from dividends plus Social Security and so on, I'm good. Let's imagine that's you. Well, how much do you have to have in your portfolio earning 3% to generate $60,000 of annual dividends? Well, the answer is you need $2 million. $2 million times 3% equals 60,000. So you're thinking, hey, I got $2 million in my portfolio. I'm invested in large blue chip company stock. Hopefully they'll grow over time, and hopefully my dividends will also grow over time. That's kind of where you're at. But again, what are we doing? We are hoping, right? Let's see if we could maybe think about this a little bit differently and try to get more stability versus hope. Warren Buffett, dividend investors love Warren Buffett. They love him. They think he's their icon. But here's an interesting thing. Do you know what Warren Buffett's opinion is on using dividends for retirement income? Well, he would argue that dividends are not for income at all. He would say, no, dividends are a return of dollars invested, and the purpose of a dividend is for reinvestment. By the way, notice that in Warren Buffett's, his company, Berkshire Hathaway, notice how they don't pay any dividends at all, because he doesn't think that's really the purpose of a dividend. Let's see if we can be a little smarter about this, right? What if you took this $2 million, and what if you broke it up into two kind of different components here? What if you said, I don't know. Let's say I'll just pick a number out. What if we put maybe, 800,000 over here, and we put 1.2 million over here, right? Now, each of these buckets have a goal. The purpose of the 800,000 is to deliver that 60,000 of income until it goes to zero. Now, if you take $800,000 and you put it in treasuries right now, you can get close to 5%. That's 40 grand a year. So you take 40 grand of interest, 20,000 of principal. And if you kind of do this, if you're earning 5% on this 800 grand, that money's probably going to last about 20 years, right? Before it goes to zero. But what does that mean? What's going on over here? You've got now roughly 20 years for what? For this 1.2 million to do what over time? You got it to just grow unencumbered. And those dividends you're receiving with that 1.2 million, just reinvest them now if you want. Just reinvest them, right? Or if you really are feeling excited, you're getting 60,000 of dividends, right? Take 20. If you take 20,000 of those dividends and add it to your income, that way you only have to take 40,000 out of here. That's a much more stable situation. So you've got protected money over here. You've got risk money over here. And if you do it the right way, you don't have to worry about hope anymore. Now you've got peace of mind, because now what you've done is you have bought that favorite four-letter word with investing, time. You've put time on your side. If it's a bad period over here in the stock market, don't take anything from that portfolio. Just keep reinvesting dividends, buy low, right? And take all of your income from the protected side. If it's a really good year in the stock market, let's say you have a really good year over here in the stock market, could you take some money over here and move it over here in a really good year? Sure, right? Nothing wrong with that. be more thoughtful about how you manage your money in retirement. And this approach, if you are a dividend investor, this approach, way more stable in retirement, way less risk in retirement, incredibly much more peace of mind. Look, you've won the retirement game. Why would you risk it? Up here, you are 100% hoping it all works out. Here, guess what? A lot more stable. The odds of things working out here, substantially higher. So there you go. I have nothing against dividend investing for retirement, but I think that if you get to a point where your dividends are enough for your retirement income, there's probably a better way to stabilize your retirement even more. So congratulations, you've done really well. This is a way to make it even a little bit better yet, right? All right, that's our message today. By the way, if you ever have the question, hey, how much do you need to retire? It's a great question to ask. Check the link below the video here. Just click that link, it'll take you to our website. I shot a quick 4-minute video or something to give you a cheat sheet, a real quick way to determine how much you need to retire. Like, how much do you know? When can you retire? Well, you gotta have a certain amount of money. Go to the website, check it out. All right, gang, that's today's message. Hope you enjoyed it.